What's up, everybody? Canuck here. Welcome to our third episode of our Out of the Park Baseball 22 series and our franchise with the Seattle Mariners. We are at May 1st, and when we left off last episode, our Mariners have very quickly found themselves into the basement of the AL West. Not surprising, obviously. But, I would have liked to have seen us hang around a little bit longer. Now, we're not ready to throw in the towel on the season at any point quite yet. But I kind of wanted to start by taking a look at who's performing well, who needs a little bit of a kick in the butt, and any possible moves that we might bring up from AAA Tacoma. I see one fairly obvious one that I think we're going to do. So we're going to do that, kind of go through the team first. We'll sim a little bit, see how far we get. I'd like to get at least through the end of May done, but we'll see. We might even get further. So here we go. We'll start with the pitching staff. And through the first month of the season, James Paxton had that amazing first game, but hasn't done much since. As you can see, the last couple games he's gotten rocked. He hasn't even gotten out of the fifth inning. So, yeah, we're a little bit worried about James Paxton here. Could just be a couple bad games. He started well, but last two games haven't been good. So we got to keep an eye on Paxton, but not ready to pull the panic button or press the panic button yet. Marco Gonzalez is 2-1, 4.35. He's had a couple good. Well, most of his showings have been good. He's gone 6 or 7 innings, which is good. That FIP is very high at 5.68. Okay. Yusei Kikuchi, ERA over 5, ugly. WHIP is real high. I don't like that. Another FIP over 5. What's he done here? He's got a couple 7-inning games, but he got rocked in a loss against the Dodgers, where he gave up 5 earned runs in 2 innings pitched. Chris Flexen. There is a problem with Chris Flexen. So him going to the KBO and coming back hasn't translated well. Rocking a 9.72 ERA, which is ridiculous. He's brought it down a little bit, but look at these earned runs each game. 6-5, 6-4, 6, and he hasn't really gotten past 7 innings. That was 7 innings, 9 pitch, 6 earned runs. I'm surprised they kept him in that far, but that isn't great. So I think Chris Flexen is going to head down to AAA. So we're going to do that right now, actually. We're going to send Flexen down. And who are we going to bring up? Well, we did talk about early how we wanted to really give the young guys a chance. We didn't want them to marinate in the minors too long. We want to give them MLB experience early. And I am looking at Logan Gilbert. He hasn't pitched yet in AAA. The season hasn't started yet. But I think I would be willing to give him a go with the Mariners. So Gilbert is in. We will adjust the pitching staff. Throw him in there. I'm going to pull off the short list because technically he's not a prospect anymore. He is in the squad. So we'll keep him as the number 4 pitcher. So we'll be curious to see how he does. Justice Sheffield, actually as our number 5 pitcher, probably in terms of the 5, has performed the best. He's not pitching long ones. He had a nice 6-0 win against Baltimore where he pitched a nice shutout. But he's the last 3 games he's been involved in losses, and hasn't pitched particularly well, but hasn't been giving up a ton of earned runs. But see what happens with Sheffield. The bullpen looks for the most part pretty good. Montero is holding his own, hasn't had too many save opportunities. Graveman's been okay. Mizkowitz, or whatever his name is, has been struggling. Not ready to really make a move with him yet. Our middle relievers are okay. Will Vest, I know, has had a couple rough games. And Sadler also had some really rough games as well. our long relievers are struggling a bit too, so our bullpen is okay. Not great, though. I mean, we're ranked 13th out of 15. So yeah, we're definitely struggling on the defensive side of the ball. We're not pitching up. We're not striking out a lot of guys. Our FIP is awful. Starters ERA is okay, but not great. But on the defensive side of the ball, we are one of the top teams, third, fourth in zone rating. So that's at least a little bit of positive going on there. So we check in with the lineups, and we'll sort by OPS plus. I think that's probably our way to do it, best way to do it. And by far and away, our best player is Kyle Lewis, coming off injury. He's played 27 games for us and is ripping the cover off the ball. 319 OPS over 191 OPS plus. On track right now for 48 home runs, 102 RBIs. So he's on pace for a hell of a season. I don't think he's going to be able to keep it up, but that is promising early. Another surprise story actually has been Tom Murphy, who's up to a nice start, 22 games in. He's hitting over 300. 5 home runs, 8 RBIs. He's producing. So pretty happy with Murphy. And I got him hitting in the 6th hole right now. So I think we'll keep him there. Ty France is my only other guy over 100 OPS plus. Hitting 274. Yeah, he's hitting not bad as our number 2 hitter. And then it really starts to take a dip. Kalenic fighting a sore back, but we're not too worried about that. You know, he's not being amazing in his debut, but he's being serviceable. So we would like to see a little bit more from Kalenic. It's early. And what else we got? We got JP Crawford. You know, I don't really know him too much for his hitting, but, you know, he's producing a bit. Only batting 233, 93 OPS plus. Okay. Dylan Moore, he's got that speed, which is nice. On track for 42 stolen bases, but he's hitting under 200, so he's got to get on base in order to steal these things. Kyle Seager, the one with the big player option for next year, just to remind ourselves. Sorry, the team option for next year, not the player. You know, I said in the first episode, if he blew us away, we would probably consider that team option, but he is not showing any reason for us to hold on to Kyle Seager. I also think he's taken a dip in his overall potential. He's definitely dropped down quite a bit. I think he was at 60 or 65, so that's not promising for Seager's, I wouldn't say development, he's 33, but progression. And then we've got a couple other disappointments. Evan White, I really thought would maybe produce a little bit more, especially with his big contract, but he's kind of doing what he did last year in a shortened season, so that is a bit worrisome for us. And Taylor Trammell has come in to fill the boots of Mitch Haniger, and he's not doing a good job of filling boots right now, but again, we're in kind of a wait and see. We're in a wait and see with a lot of these guys. And then, yeah, guys, our bench players have just been pure garbage. They haven't really done anything. So, I mean, it's not looking overly promising, but we knew it would be an absolute miracle if we even came close to sniffing the playoffs. I mean, 500 ball is our goal, so we're gonna do our best to try to get to that. But I mean, yeah, 11 and 16, not a great start. So just looking ahead at the schedule as we head into the month of May. We got 2 more games against the Angels, 3 against Baltimore, 3 against Texas, a couple more against the Dodgers, and then a series against Cleveland. So we'll probably sim it up to the end of this Cleveland series, unless there's a major injury or a major trade announcement or anything that'll obviously stop the sim. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to sim up to there. The team is pretty much how I want them to be for now. We don't have any guys coming back from injury anytime soon, so we hope to avoid the injury bug. And hopefully, well, I think the AAA season will start too, so we'll start getting some numbers from the Rainiers and looking at how our prospects are doing too. So we will be back as we sim ahead into May. All right, we are back, and we have played through 14 games here, middle of May, and we're set. We finished 7-7. So, as you can see, we split our 2 games against the Dodgers. Won 2 out of 3 against Baltimore. We swept Texas. We're feeling good, and then the Dodgers brought us back to earth with a couple shellackings. And then we only won 1 out of 3 against Cleveland. So, I mean, we beat the teams we probably expected to beat, and then we lost to the teams a lot better than us, which is kind of expected. So, we're not in the basement anymore. I am seeing slight improvements. As you can see here, our ERA pitching is getting a tad better. Still not striking out a lot of guys. Our defense is still good. Our teams, in terms of our offense, it's still not great. We had a couple crazy output games, which we'll break down these next 2 weeks here in a second. But we had some crazy good runs, or crazy good games, I mean. But we also had some real stinkers in this stretch. So let's just check a quick look at the standings, not the statistics. We will dive into those a little bit later, but nope, wrong one again. There we go. So Tampa, 2 up on the Jays, 3 up on the Red Sox. The Central's tight between Chicago and Cleveland. Houston is leading our division by a half game over the Angels, 3.5, and we're 5 back. I mean, this is one of, if not the closest division in baseball right now. But again, still very early days. We are on a 3-game losing streak, which stinks. The Mets continue to dominate. They are the only team that has not lost 10 games yet, as they are 30-9. Washington going 8-2, but struggling to keep up with them. Milwaukee has a 2.5-game lead in a very weak NL Central, and the Padres at 31-10 have pretty good lead over the Dodgers. San Francisco Giants doing well too. Pretty strong division there. for sure. So that's what's going on around the league. Let's break down these couple of weeks now, as we'll kind of dive in and see what happened in these games. So we kicked off May with a nice 7-2 win. Mostly I'm kind of going to be looking at who are our top performers. Kyle Lewis, like we said, who's been playing well, went 3 for 5. That's good to see. And Kikuchi pitched a pretty good game there. Miskowitz got a hold. Vest got a save. Okay. Then we lose a squeaker 3-2. Who was pitching there? Logan Gilbert in his first game in the majors. Had a good game. 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. Gave up 1 home run over 99 pitches. I'm not complaining about that. We didn't get the result, but that's on our offense. As we only got 3 hits the entire game there, so that's not going to do it. And then look at this game. We absolutely throttled the Orioles 19-0. We had 9 runs in the 4th. Let's check this. Let's check this line score here. France 3 hits, 5 RBIs. Trammell 2 hits, 4 RBIs. Lewis 2 hits. Everyone had at least a hit. 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 4 home runs. Wow, the offense was out in full force here. And not only that, Paxton pitched an absolute gem, 7 innings. So that's good to see him getting things back going a little bit. And then we finish off with we continue on the next day with a 3-1 win over Baltimore. Seager had 3 hits in that game. That's good to see. Sheffield continuing a good stretch of games. 7 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts. Yeah, we're not getting a lot of strikeouts from this team. Okay, and then we finish off the series, unfortunately, getting shut out. Not a lot of hitting there. Our bats just went silent. Gonzalez pitched okay, but again, just our offense failed us there. Then we had the day off, and then the bats really kind of went off in this Texas series. We start 15-8. We get 7 runs in the second, another 7 runs in the 8th. Again, another one where almost every starter got a hit at least. Tom Murphy had 3. And Kikuchi got rocked early. So, yeah, he didn't pitch actually that well, but our bullpen held it together pretty good, so that's good to see. And then we win a 13-inning thriller. 3 hits from Kolenik. Yeah, he's struggling a little bit. That average isn't great, but hopefully that gets up there a bit. We used a lot of pitchers in this game. Gilbert had a pretty good one there. Didn't get the decision, but yeah, we went through almost our entire bullpen there as Montero blew the save. And then a nice dominant performance by Paxton. Okay, good. So this is encouraging. He had a couple not so great outings, so nice to see Paxton with another shutout. Good to see. And then we had the off day, and we were feeling pretty good here, winning 5 of our last 6, and then the Dodgers are like, yeah, you're not that good. 15-2, we got hammered. Gonzalez was the unlucky one. He didn't even get through 3 innings. Not a lot here that's encouraging, so we're just going to move on. 8-1, we get crushed. 7 hits. Sheffield didn't even get out of the 2nd inning. Wow. So, yeah, they had our way with us. Okay, and then we did come back home and beat the Indians in the opening game of this series. Kikuchi pitched pretty well, and then it was a stinker. 1-0. Damn. Paxton pitched well, 11 strikeouts, 3 hits, but Shane Bieber pitched a complete game shutout. Hard to compete. That was an absolute couple aces up on the mound there. We lose 7-3. Gilbert's struggling. I mean, I'm not quite ready to send him back down yet, but he's had a bit of a rocky opening to his major league career. And then it is a 9-3 loss. Gonzalez pitched well. Oh yeah, they scored late. Damn, so our bullpen just exploded there. Yeah. All right. Okay. Just looking at ERAs are still pretty high with our starters other than Paxton and Sheffield. And our bullpen, at least some of it is, those ERAs are starting to get a bit inflated. And we'll do a quick lineup check as Kyle Lewis still hitting well. Murphy, France, Dylan Moore. Okay, good. I think he's picked things up. Yep, good to see that. Clinic's up over 100 OPS, hitting 235. I'd like to see that average a bit higher. But yeah, about the same old. Seager may be picking things up a bit, but too many hitless games for my liking. He's hitting 227. Okay. Let's just check the trading block here. Omar Mazzara. I mean, he's cheap, but... Oh, I have my alerts on. Let's turn those off. Sorry, guys. Those are my YouTube subscriptions there. Anyway, I mean, he'd be interesting, but do we need him? No, he's struggling with the Tigers too. I don't really want to give much up for him either. Jonathan Schoop, Franco. Not really much going on there, so. Take a quick look again at the kind of our financial situation, just trying to remind myself what we've got here. So Paxton, we're going to have to make a decision on. He's pitching well early, but I'm not quite ready to sign him yet or make a decision on him yet. He is pitching well. I'm just wondering about his extension. Yeah, he wants a beefy extension that we can't even afford, even if we wanted to. So yeah, I don't know if Paxton's going to be in Seattle too long, but the good news is we do have some pitchers coming up. We are starting to get a few stats. Just taking a look at Chris Flexen, who's done 2 games in AAA, and he's not particularly pitching well even in AAA, which is a bit worrisome. No one really doing quite well. This guy we're going to keep an eye on. Marmoljos is off to a great start. Someone in the comments in my first video also mentioned to keep an eye on Naleve Marte, which we will definitely keep an eye on as he's off to a decent start. And there was another one, I can't remember the name of him, but I think he was down here in A-ball. I can't remember, so. Anyway. So let's sim ahead again. Not really in a position to make any moves at this point. Not really anything going on around the league in terms of trades or anything. We're just... Teams are still settling in about 40-something games into the season. 5 games back. We're 5.5 out of the wild card. We're actually closer in our division. So let's look ahead to the next 2 weeks. So we got 3 against Detroit. I'm hoping we can get at least 2 there. And then a tough 3-game interleague set against San Diego. And then we've got some AL West battles here. We got 3 against Oakland, 4 against Texas, and then it looks like another Oakland series as well, and then we get Anaheim as we head into June. So definitely some good divisional ball where we can hopefully make some ground. So Let's sim ahead, and again, we'll be back either at the end of May here, or if something wild happens. So we'll be back shortly. All right, we are back, and as you can see, it was a rough couple weeks of May here, the end of May. We finished 5 and 10 in these last 2 weeks. It was pretty rough. Including, well, I mean, we started with that last game against Cleveland. We ended up losing. Detroit took 2 of 3 from us. We split a series with San Diego. Oh, no, we only took 1 of 3 against San Diego. Oakland just whooped us. Texas, we've been doing okay against. We took 3 of 4 against them, and then another loss against Oakland. So it was a pretty disappointing stretch here. Honestly, not a lot to write home about. We did lose JP Crawford for a week or two, 1 to 2 weeks, but otherwise there wasn't there wasn't really too much to write home about right now with the Mariners. So I think next episode we will check in on these guys and kind of see where we're at, because, well, at 23 and 32 heading into June, maybe it's time to start thinking about making some moves. We'll see. So next episode, we will take a look at the lineup and see what we can do, or just keep rolling the dice and maybe try to get through this season and, well, try to salvage things as best we can. All right, we'll see you next time.